Hi everyone, Jorge Macias here from the Go-to-Market Engineering Company. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about what a CRM audit looks like and what's the end of the deliverable of something like this. So stay until the end and I'll show you a graph of how these projects look like in a timeline and priority perspective. So a little bit of context before we start. This is a client of ours that has been working with us for roughly 3 months, and we've created already a bunch of processes that go enrich information in Clay and automatically update that data into the CRM. So what we noticed is that there were other parts of the CRM that we needed to look into. So the first one is basically creating like a naughty list or a hygiene enforcement workflow or reporting system that would automatically notify them or let them know if the CRM hasn't been properly updated in a while. We also noticed that they have a main pipeline for all the new deals, but they also have different pipelines for MQLs and SQLs and different pipelines in different stages within the pipeline. So basically what we proposed was a process to go from lead to MQL to SQL and SDR type process in a different object, and then another process, and also clean up a little bit of the sales pipeline. So we have less deal stages, but more deal stages are representative of the whole workflow. So that was one of the suggestions. There were actually two suggestions that we merged into one. Another thing that we noticed is that they had some automations for renewal for the renewal pipeline that was also in the deals object, and there wasn't like a good CS workflow to keep that information updated. So we are going to create some reporting for that. We One of the main suggestions that we had was to push a lot of the PLG data of their product into the CRM and then use that for implementation and for renewal scoring and helping those teams better leverage the product led growth motion. We are also working on re-implementing or redesigning the implementation process, where we are doing an analysis to check pros and cons, to check if it makes sense to leave it in the deals object or move that into a project pipeline or a task management pipeline, since they have internal and external tasks. We also noticed that we have a bunch of properties that we enriched through Clay, but not all of those properties were, not everything that we had from Clay we pushed back into CRM. We only pushed the data that was immediate need or important at that time. So there's some CRM data cleanup that we can do. There's some features like the sales workspace that we could use more. We need to also properly document the rest of the architecture, not only what we have worked with, but also other parts. And then we also suggested some integrations of a call recorder, some forms, sequences, and eventually ABM strategies. So those are like a few of the suggestions. We did this audit, then we reviewed it with a customer, and then we decided which were the products that we were going to choose. And then the how this looks is this graph where we are mapping the impact or the ROI that the projects can have, but also how much time would it require. So if it's a low time but high impact, that would be a quick win. Everything that's kind of in the middle would be something that we can cover in a couple of months. But then everything that's high time will probably be like a long-term type of project. So I hope this helps kind of understand how to approach this. And if you ever need something like this or you have any questions of how we did this, let me know. And I'm always happy to talk and geek out about CRMs. Take care. Bye.